Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Sedona International Film Festival. I'm your host, Carol Kahn. We are coming to you live from Yavapai College, the Sedona campus, and we'd like to thank our sponsors, Northern Arizona Healthcare. So thank you for being our sponsor. And joining me now are two filmmakers who just got into town last evening, Deborah and Jim. Thank you for being with us. And your film is?
Our film is called Ready Forward.
Ready Forward.
Written by Deborah Glazier and directed by myself.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about the film.
Deb, do you want to?
The film is a poignant love story about connection in later years and the transformative power of forgiveness in an aging couple's relationship. It stars Amy Hill, who is on plays Kumu on Magnum PI now, and Dennis Chun, both really top-notch professionals.
Now, was that shot in Hawaii?
Ready Forward?
Yes.
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 Mm-hmm. Yes. So we both live in Hawaii on the island of Oahu. Aloha, everybody. And Dennis and Amy also live there. Our cast lives on the island of Oahu as well. So we're quite fortunate to have top shelf cast with us to join us on this. Mm-hmm. It's not often that for a short film you attract that type of talent, not only in front of the camera but also our crew. And our crew is full of seasoned professionals, and that helped us shoot our 25-page script in 3 days.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
So yeah, everyone came prepared and brought their A game.
Well, I watched the story, and it was like little surprises along the way. So I think, at the beginning when I forgot the name, the main character, the husband.
George.
Yeah, so when he was doing his thing. And then the EMT guys kept coming. I didn't realize the relationship between the EMT people. So it was sort of like little surprises along the way that one of the EMT people were related to the family, if you will.
So, in the beginning, what happens is, there's backstory, and so George is trying to get the attention. This is sort of a regular thing that George does to get the attention of his wife, to try to reconnect in some way, and that's what he does. And so this is sort of a routine thing, and the EMT come, and so we get a glimpse of the cantankerous of their relationship. Mm-hmm. And so, yes, it's sort of that journey of him trying to reconnect with her.
Yeah, and that's why I said there were like little surprises along the way that just kept popping up, and it's like, you wouldn't think that they were related, but it was sort of a cute little dialogue between the EMT people. I liked that.
It's a funny thing in Hawaii. When someone calls you auntie or uncle, it doesn't mean that you're necessarily related.
So they weren't related.
Blood. No.
Oh, I thought they were related because of that.
And it's just a reference. It's a show that he's showing his respect.
I gotcha.
And
I thought that was real his aunt and uncle, and I was like, oh, that's why they're coming over there again for the 7th time.
Right. No, but it's a small community, and apparently his mother does know Rosie, mm-hmm. and had been trying to really communicate with Rosie, help Rosie overcome her, what I would say, a deep depression. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What inspired you to do this film?
So, being the writer, take this one.
As a writer, we tend to, writers write about what they know, and so many times a writer will put elements in that are personal. So the inspiration for the story really came about with my grandparents, who lived in the same room for 30 years and didn't have a relationship. So my grandfather would play solitaire all day, and my grandmother would do her thing. And then, so really that's how it came about, is just this idea of how two people can not have a relationship, but yet live in close proximity. Mm-hmm. And then when you add life happenings in there, loss, love, forgiveness, I've just always been fascinated with that in later years.
I think it's interesting. As you were saying that, it just reminded me of like my grandmother and my grandfather. Not so much my mom and dad, but my grandmother and grandfather, same kind of thing. Like they lived in the same space. My grandfather hardly talked to my grandmother. Just like, but I don't know. Growing up, it just seemed like it was not normal, but kind of normal.
It's also about living your best life too, because we put things off and we keep saying, "Oh, I'm going to do it when I retire. I'm going to do it later. I'm going to do it." Well, we find out that you spend your whole life trying to get somewhere, and then you realize that you may not get to do the things you want to do, and that goes along with relationship too.
Yeah. And that was a line that he said in the movie that I loved the best. It's like he said, he said exactly that. Like you get to a point in your life when you think this is it. Okay, I'm ready to accomplish that, and you still haven't gotten there.
Yeah, I mean, you feel like you've done everything, and you've arrived, and then you get the memo that says it's time to leave.
Right.
So.
And as you mentioned, you could relate to this story. This is a universal story. This is about relationship, and I think in our lives and with most people, we know people who have gone through these relationships, or we have observed them ourselves, and that allows us to connect to this story. And I think that's part of the beauty of this story, is that everyone can connect with it.
Do you think as filmmakers that you want to deliver a message, right, to the public and to the audience? So your goal is to deliver a message. So each film that you do, is there even a bigger takeaway for you outside of just that message?
I think not. I think that I take this project for reasons specific to this story, and we want to communicate whatever that is, and maybe I'm not necessarily fully understanding.
And I probably
the
didn't
question.
explain. I guess what I mean is that typically when you do something, like you get into something and you think this is the goal, this is what I want to do, this is the end result of the message that we want to deliver. But along the way, whether you by wisdom learn from a character or learn from a person that you're dealing with, that your takeaway is greater than the message that you started out delivering, that you actually get more in return. Did that make sense?
Well, it made sense to me in this way, where that I can relate to what this couple is going through in a certain way. As I observe their struggles in the story and how they overcome it, I see in my own life how important it is to make amends, either with my wife or my first family, and to understand how important that is to take care of now instead of when it's too late.
Right.
So that's how I would answer that question, I guess.
Yeah.
And we had, after filming one day, we had our first AC. In fact, it was more than that. It was so many of the crew come up to me and say, "Wow, this is how it touched me. I called my parents last night." It made people think. And so that's how we knew that the story was resonating. And so what is unique too as a writer is, I have an idea in my head when I wrote it, and then so to pass it over to a director is a unique experience too, because then it becomes Jim's project. I mean, it's all of our project, but as a director, then you have a different job to tell the story as a director, which is, as a writer, sometimes I had to step back and say, well, that's not really what I envisioned, but I think Jim told the story beautifully. I think his direction was spot on. Like an actor completes the character, and in Jim's case, you really completed the story because he thought of things that I didn't as a writer. So
thank you, Deborah.
Yeah.
Well, tell us when is the screening of your film?
Well, today we screened at 1 p.m. Our next screening will be Saturday evening at 7.
Okay. And how can people find out about your film? Do you have a website or?
Yes, they can visit readyforwardthefilm.com, and we're also on Instagram at readyforward.
Okay, awesome. And don't forget our Instagram, which is hashtag Sedona Film Fest 2022 and hashtag Sedona Film Fest 20. Well, I said that already. Hashtag Sedona Film Fest. And Steve, stop rolling your eyes. Okay, it's the first time I messed up. Give me a break.
Take two.
That's right, take two. And we will be back with more from the Sedona Film Festival after this.